Yo, what is up, guys? It's Nistro here, and we got some new news for you guys. Some news. Uh, so, we got ourselves a confirmation for the Legendary Dragon decks, and it's this year's version of a Legendary Collection. Last year it was the Legendary Decks 2, and the year before that it was Legendary Decks. And then, the years before that, it was the Legendary Collection, like 5Ds and GX and first Yu-Gi-Oh! So, yeah, this is what this year's Legendary Collection is. And it's three decks. And so, looking over it, it says this time it's going to be monsters from the Waking of the Dragons arc of the first Yu-Gi-Oh! But, the arc with the Seal of Orichalcos and all that, which I heard technically isn't canon, but still it was still a big part of the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise. Zane Truesdale, I don't know who he is. I haven't watched GX, and Yuya Sakaki, which is the main guy of Arc V and all the Odd Eye stuff. So, yeah, so it's coming with three decks, which I think is going to be actually pretty nice. Just like last year. And so the first deck is going to be Legendary Dragons of Atlantis, based on not just one, but all three of the Legendary Dragons of Tidius, Critias, and Timaeus, Critias, and Hormos, which were spell cards used by Yuki, Kab, and Joey against darts. And so they're going to have all three of those spell cards in the deck. And you're going to use all the fusions that also included those cards as well. So Mirror Force Dragon, Red Ice Black Dragon Sword, what's one? Rocket Hermos Cannon. There's a whole bunch of them, and they're actually pretty nice. And in this deck, inspired by Yuki's final duel against darts, as is brand new fusion monster born of the Eye of Timaeus and Yugi's famed Dark Magician. Now, I don't know where this means a new fusion monster in general, because we already do have Amulet Dragon, but a new fusion for Dark Magician definitely might not be a bad idea. So next we have Cyber Dragons, actually getting their own part of their own deck as well. It's kind of funny how they're using Cyber Dragons as like their own theme, because although Cyber Dragons did have a structure deck, and they did get like support along the time, like the level 5 fusion that's kind of like a Harpy's Feather Duster, and then there's the Cyber Dragon Infinity. I never thought Konami would really recognize it as like its own archetype, but I guess they needed some other theme of dragons, and I do think this was a nice way to do that. So it just tells you a little history about Cyber Dragons, and there's going to be a brand new fusion monster for Cyber Dragons, as well as the fusion for the Dark Magician. So I would expect to see like all the staple Cyber Dragon cards: Infinity, Nova, the Fusion, Chimera Attack, Core, Zway. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you probably haven't played Cyber Dragons. But if you do, then you definitely know what this is all about. And lastly, we have Dimensional Dragons, and this one was the most appealing to me. Odd Eye's Pendulum Dragon has like a form in every type of monster. He has a Synchro, an Exceed, a Ritual, an Extra Deck type of monster, a Pendulum. So they just thought it would be cool if we just put them all into one deck, and just let people have fun with that. Honestly, I do think it's this. This would have been a lot better last year before Link format came in, but I guess even now, I guess it's okay, and it's pretty much just an Odd Eyes deck, just filled with all the Odd Eyes monsters, and a few new Odd Eyes monsters as well, a new Pendulum monster. And so, this deck does come with the so both of the legendary decks of the legendary dragons and of the cyber dragons come with 40 card decks with like 11 or 10 card extra decks, which is actually a lot better than what we got last year, because it was only like 1 or 2 cards for the extra deck last year. And the Odd Eyes deck actually comes with the alternate arts of Odd Eyes, Dark Rebellion, Clearwing, and Starving Venom, which I do think is actually a pretty nice touch to finish off this set. It definitely does look pretty appealing. And, I was kind of curious as to how they were going to... Because once they showed the alternate arts for the 4-dimension dragons for the OCG, I was curious as to how we would get that here in the West. But, putting it in the Legendary Collection, I don't think it's a bad idea. Definitely, they do look pretty good. And Starving Venom reprint is kind of nice, I guess. But yeah, I guess that's all the news for now. I guess I'll show you guys what it looks like when it comes out. But that's if I have. I mean, at this point, the only thing we really need to see is like confirmed list of what actually is like the actual cards for each deck, because there could be some crazy reprints in here other than what was already stated. I guess it kind of depends on the staples that they put in here, and the actual new cards for the types that they're supporting, because it could be something game breaking or it could be pretty mediocre. So we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, this was Nistro here, just giving you guys a little bit of a news update. Nistro out.